students, welcome back to day 62 of 99% in 99 days. So for your class 10 CBSE board. So now we are done with all the chapters. We have also revised them, right? But that is not enough to crack the exam, to top the exam. We also need to solve sample papers. So in this video, we are going to solve the sample paper, okay? The chemistry part of the sample paper, that is 24-25 sample paper. This will be the first sample paper, and yes, do not worry, we will be attaching the PDF of the sample paper in this description section, and you will also be getting in our WhatsApp channel, okay? So if you are someone who hasn't joined the WhatsApp channel, please quickly join the WhatsApp channel. Link is there in the description section. This will help you to get access to all our sample papers, class notes, PDF, everything is available there, okay? Fine. So first sample paper, chemistry part we will be discussing. So in this sample paper, I will be telling you how many questions were there. So there were 7 MCQs and 1 assertion and reason question. There were 1 2-marker question, and there were 3 3-marker question, 1 5-marker question and 1 4-marker question, okay? So let us quickly discuss this. So first question coming to here, identify P, Q and R in the following balanced reaction, okay? So this is a balanced reaction, we have to first balance it. So let me write down the reaction. We have PbNO3 whole 2, okay, is giving me PbO plus NO2 plus O2, okay, fine. Now let us see, if I see oxygen, I am having 6 oxygen here, right? So 2 2s are 4 and here only 1. So if I just make it 2 Pb, it will become 2 oxygen, right? And it will become 6 oxygen, that will get balanced, okay. So if I am making this one 2 Pb, then I should make this also 2 Pb. Right now we see lead is balanced, 2 Pb, 2 Pb, but once I have put here 2 Pb, oxygen again got imbalanced, right? Okay, now if you see nitrogen here is how much? NO3, NO3, 2 nitrogen, so total 4 nitrogens are there. So I have to put here 4 nitrogen, okay. So now let us see if it is balanced or not. 2 lead, 2 lead, nitrogen I have 4, here 4, oxygen I have 12, and here you see 4 2s are 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So what is the value of P? 2, 2, 2. So this is wrong, right? What is the value of, 1 minute, we have, yeah, here something is there, okay, Q is here, okay. What is the value of Q? Again 2. So here 2, here 4, here 4. So eliminate this one. Option number A is the correct answer, okay. Moving towards the next question, you have to match the following. A metal that forms amphoteric oxide. So we all know aluminium forms amphoteric oxide. So A has to be 3, okay. So eliminate these 2 options. Next, a metal which melts when kept on our palm, that is your gallium, right? Gallium has very low melting point. So B will be 1. So we have B1 here. So we can eliminate this also, option number B, okay. Next, question number 3. The solution in the given figure is likely to be. So you see bulb does not glow. So if the bulb is not glowing, that means it is not able to conduct electricity. So the solution that you have taken here should be a non-electrolyte, okay. So HNO3 can conduct electricity, H2SO4, CO2 in water can also do, but yes, C2H5OH will not do. So option number B here. Next we have which, so this question again the optional question for visually impaired challenge students. So which among the following is considered as the strongest electrolyte? Dilute acid, dilute sugar solution, glucose solution, ethanol in water. So we know acid is the strongest electrolyte here, okay. Next, question number 4. An aqueous solution A turns the phenolphthalein solution pink, okay. On addition of an aqueous solution of B to A, the pink color disappears. Which of the following statement is true for the solution A and B? Okay. So now if you see here, if it is turning, A turns phenolphthalein pink, okay, that means what? This solution, okay, the A solution must be a basic solution because it is turning phenolphthalein pink in color. So basic solution means it will have pH greater than 7. So A is strongly basic and B is a weakly base. A is strongly acidic and B is a weak acid. A has a pH greater than 7. Yes, this is correct, okay. And B has a pH less than 7. Option number C here, okay. Next, question number 5. one second. Okay, when 50 gram of lead powder is added to 300 ml of blue copper sulfate solution, after a few hours the solution becomes colorless. This is an example of. So if you have copper sulfate, okay, and you take lead with that, so after some time you will find that you will get PbSO4 plus Cu. Okay, so now this Pb has displaced this copper, so this is an example of displacement reaction, option number C. Next, the electronic configuration of three elements X, Y and Z are: X is 28, Z is 282 and Y is 282 and Z is 28. So now if you see, I can just write down X is 287, Y is 282, Z is 2 and 8. Okay, so now if you see X, here 7 electrons are there, it can gain 1 electron to complete its octet, right? So if it is gaining 1 electron, it is a non-metal. So X is a non-metal. Okay, next about Y. So this can lose these 2 electrons to get an octet rule. So Y is a metal. So that is option number C. Okay. Next question number 7. Which of the following is an endothermic reaction? Burning of a candle, cooking of food, decomposition of vegetable matter, reaction of sodium with air. So when you take endothermic reaction means what? Those reactions where energy is required for the reaction to happen, right? So that is your cooking of food. Okay, because when you cook the food you have to provide more energy. Okay. So that was about MCQ. Now moving towards the assertion reason. So in this question paper, question number 17 is an assertion reason from chemistry. So that is on addition of dilute HCl to a test tube containing a substance X, a colorless gas is produced which gives a pop sound when burning a matchstick. It is brought near to it. So that gas you must have guessed, it is hydrogen gas. In this reaction, metal is displaced by hydrogen. Yes, so that is both, I think this metal, the metal is displaced by hydrogen. See, if you have one metal and you react with HCl, okay, so what happens? Metal displaces this hydrogen to get MCl, some salt, plus H2 gas, right? But here metal X is displaced by hydrogen, or the term is metal X displaces the hydrogen. You see, the English here is little critical. Okay, so yes, that is why you see this part, this reason is false. Metal X is not displaced by hydrogen. Metal X is not displaced by hydrogen. Metal X displaces the hydrogen. According to this statement, hydrogen has displaced metal. No, metal has displaced the hydrogen. So that is why reason is false, assertion is true, option number C. Okay, so that's all in your 1 marker question. Now moving towards the 2 marker questions. Okay, so here the question is like this: identify the type of each of the following reactions, stating the reason for your answer. I'll be telling you the marking scheme as well. Okay, so just a minute. Okay, yeah. So Fe2O3 plus Al gives Al2O3 plus 2Fe plus heat. Now if you see, from Fe2O3 to Fe, oxygen is removed. So that is why it is an like Fe is undergoing reduction, and in aluminium oxygen is added, so it is undergoing oxidation. So both reduction and oxidation is happening, so it is a redox reaction. Second thing you can see here, aluminium is displacing iron from the reaction, so it is a displacement reaction as well. Next you can see heat is produced, so it is an exothermic reaction. Okay, so the first one is a exothermic displacement reaction as well as a redox reaction. Now if you write this much, okay, what type of reaction it is, you will be given 0.5 marks. Next, what are the reason for that? The first is, why are you telling it is exothermic? Because heat is evolved. Okay. Next, why you are telling it is a displacement reaction? That is, aluminium is displacing iron from the reaction. Next, why it is a redox reaction? You can write down aluminium reduces iron to oxide, iron oxide to iron. Okay, so if you write these points, like you will get 0.5 marks for explaining and 0.5 marks for writing the reason. Okay, next is your second one, PbNO3 plus Ki give PbI2 plus KNO3. So this is your double displacement reaction, that gives you 0.5 marks. Next, as there is an exchange of ions between the reactant and the product, so that is why this is a double displacement reaction, and that's for giving the explanation you will get 0.5 marks. Okay. Next, moving to section number C, where so in 2 marker there was only one question. Now we will be going to section C, where we have 3 questions from chemistry. So the first question is like this: Anirudh took 2 metal oxides, aluminium oxide and magnesium oxide, as shown in the figure, but he forgot to level them. How will you guide or help Anirudh to identify the oxides and level them? Okay, that is the first question. Second part: in an activity, Aishu was given 2 substances, copper sulfide and copper oxide, to obtain copper from these compounds. She was able to extract copper successfully. Illustrate with the help of a chemical reaction how Aishu might have completed the activity. Okay, so let us check the answer. So you have in one case you have this one magnesium oxide and aluminium oxide, and we know that aluminium oxide is amphoteric in nature. So how we can guess the answer? Now see, aqueous solution of magnesium oxide, if you just add to that oxide you add what? You add water. Okay, so that will be, magnesium oxide will give you a basic solution, so it will turn red litmus paper to blue, right? So will turn red litmus to blue, so that when you can guess this is a magnesium oxide. And aluminium oxide is amphoteric and insoluble in water, thus it does not change the color of either blue or red litmus. Clear? That is how you can identify them. Next is the extraction of copper, or there is one more method, that is magnesium oxide reacts with acid only, whereas aluminium oxide reacts with both acids and bases, being amphoteric in nature. Okay, so I think any one of this you can write down. Magnesium oxide, since it is basic in nature, it will react only with acid, but aluminium oxide, because it is amphoteric in nature, it can react with both acid and bases. That way also you can distinguish. Next, if you have copper sulfide, first you treat it with oxygen, you will get copper oxide plus SO2. Okay, and once the copper oxide is obtained, retreat it with copper sulfide or reduce it using copper sulfide to give copper and SO2. Okay, so if you write any, this is a 3 marker question, right? So here this 2 reactions carry 2 mark, and you write either this or this, you will get 1 mark. And I think this one is a better answer or a more easier answer to write. Okay. Now let us move towards the next. Okay, there was a option question for visually impaired students as well. Certain metals are used for making cooking utensils. Give reasons for the following. And hydrogen gas does not evolve when certain metals except magnesium and manganese react with nitric acid. So we know that first of all, certain metals, why it is used for cooking food? Because they are good conductors of electricity. You can write 2 points here, sorry, not electricity, good conductors of heat, and they are non-reactive. Okay, that is 2 methods you can write, 2 reasons. And here why you can, how you can write, you know, nitric acid is a very strong oxidizing agent, right? So when any metal, see, generally what happens when metal reacts with any acid, okay, we get salt plus H2, right? But if this acid is your nitric acid, okay, nitric acid is what? It is a very strong oxidizing agent, and because of this, this HNO3 converts this H2 to H2O. Okay, so that is why no H2 gas is produced. So you can write the answer here. 2 points for here. Certain metals like aluminium and copper are used for making cooking utensils as they are good conductors of heat and have high melting point. Okay, so any 2 points you write, that will give you half of 1 mark. Okay, and here hydrogen gas is not evolved during when a metal reacts with nitric acid. This is because HNO3 is a strong oxidizing agent. It oxidizes the H2 produced to water and itself gets reduced to any of the nitrogen oxides. But magnesium and manganese react with very dilute HNO3 to give H2 gas. Okay, so this one will give you 1 plus 1, 2 marks. Now coming to next question, attempt either option A or B. Okay, there was an OR question here. So in the given series of reaction, name the compound X, Y and Z. Sorry, name the compound X and Z, that is which type of reaction is X to Z. Okay. Next one, comment the following statements. Okay, so fine, let us first see X to Z, what will be the answer. So first is NaCl plus H2O plus CO2 plus NH3 is giving you X and Z. So this is, if you remember, it is in the compounds of sodium, right? We have studied certain compounds of sodium, so that is there. So X is your NaHCO3 and Z is your Na2CO3. Okay, X is NaHCO3 and Z is Na2CO3. And what type of reaction is this one? You are providing heat, so this is an decomposition reaction, and you can also say it is an endothermic reaction. Okay. Next, coming to okay, one second, just a minute. I think here, okay, fine. Next, coming to this three statements, you have to write any three. B string is treated with baking soda paste, whereas was string is treated with dilute vinegar. What is the reason for that? So this is a very important question. Now see, B sting is acidic, so that is why, and was sting is basic. So that is why to clear the acidic solution, you have to treat it with a baking soda. But if this one is a basic one, so to treat that one, you have to add a vinegar or an acid to neutralize it. Second one, farmers treat soil with quick lime when tilling. So that is also to reduce the acidity of the, or to change the nature of the soil to neutral or basic. Okay. So generally what happens when we use so many soaps and detergents in the like, what I can say, we have like acid rain. Okay, let us first take the example of acid rain. So the acidity of the rainwater, the acidic nature of that rainwater is absorbed by the soil, and soil becomes more acidic. Okay, so to neutralize it, to bring it to the level of the pH range of where, which is good for the growth of the plants, they add some basic nature to that. Okay. And this will give you 1 mark, this will give you 1 mark. And next one, ancient sculptures and marble structures are conserved by treating them with certain chemicals. Okay, so why we have to conserve them? Because these are mainly made up of marbles, and due to acid rain they gets converted to yellow color. So you can see, to protect the sculptures from the effect of certain gases present in the environment and acid rain. Okay, so this one will give you 1 mark. Now let us moving towards the 5 marker question. Okay. So the first question here, you have A or B options are there. So the first question here is, Kirti thinks that substitution reaction occurs in saturated hydrocarbons. On the contrary, Krishi thinks it occurs in unsaturated hydrocarbons. Justify with valid reasoning whose thinking is correct. So you know, in substitution reaction, what do we do? Any hydrogen of an alkane group or any hydrocarbon group, the hydrogen is replaced with some other group, right? So that takes place in case of saturated compound. So you can see Kirti's thinking is correct. First you have to mention whose thinking is correct. Okay. Next you have to explain it. As substitution reaction occurs in saturated hydrocarbons, hydrogen atoms are replaced with heteroatoms in saturated hydrocarbons. Whereas in unsaturated hydrocarbons, an addition reaction occurs, simple molecules are added across the double or triple bond. Okay. So you have to write what happens in case of saturated hydrocarbons and what happens in case of unsaturated hydrocarbons. Next, methane and propane are their isomers are methane and propane and their isomers are used as fuels. Comment. Draw the electron dot structure of the immediate lower homologue of propane. Okay. Give any two characteristics of homologous series of a given homologous series. Okay. So first of all is methane and propane. Why are they used and their isomers are used as fuels? Because they are having very good calorific value. Okay. So methane and propane undergo combustion reaction in presence of oxygen and they produce very good amount of heat energy, or they give you very high amount of energy. That is why they are used as fuel. Okay. That is 1 mark. Okay. Next question was the lower member of propane. Just the lower member of propane is ethane, right? So ethane Lewis dot structure, you can see 2 carbons and 3 hydrogen. So that is the lower member of propane. The third one is two characteristics of homologous series. So they differ by a CH2 group or they differ by 14U. They have same functional group and similar chemical properties. Okay, any 2 points you can write, you will get 2 marks here. So we got how much mark here? This carries 1 mark. Okay, here I have 3 mark, right? You have to first write why it is used as a fuel, then you have to draw the electron dot structure and then 2 homologous series properties. That will give you I think half and half mark, that will be 3 marks, right? Let us see the mark distribution. Yes, so this carries 1 mark. Okay. this carries 1 mark, and any 2 characteristics will give you 1 mark, so 3 mark. Next, a mixture of oxygen, okay, next question, a mixture of oxygen and ethane is burned for welding. Can you predict why a mixture of ethane and air is not used? Okay, mixture of oxygen and ethane is used and mixture of air is not used, because air contains so many gases, right, but we need for combustion oxygen. So you can see here the mixture of ethane and oxygen is in sufficient amount undergoes complete combustion, okay, undergoes complete combustion to fire a clean blue flame. In pressure of insufficient supply of oxygen or in presence of air, ethane does not undergo complete combustion and produces sooty flame, okay. So for complete combustion we need pure oxygen gas, so that is why we take oxygen instead of air, okay. This one will carry 1 mark, okay. So this carries 1 mark and total carries 5 marks. Next, coming to question number 34 or section, you can attempt either those question or this question, okay. So A and B are sodium salts of long chain carboxylic acid and long chain sulfonic acid respectively. Which one of A or B will you prefer as a cleansing agent while using underground water, hand pump water? Give reason for your answer. Next, elaborate on the process of cleansing action. Illustrate Michel with the help of labeled diagram. Write the chemical equation of the preparation of soap from an ester. This one, what is the name of this process? Okay. So first of all, you will write which one you will use and why. Okay. So there is 2 answers that you have to write here. So the first one is your B is preferred for cleansing action, the sulfonic acid. Why? Because the calcium and magnesium salts present in the underground water are precipitated with carboxylic acid. They form scum with carboxylic acid. The calcium 2+ and magnesium 2+ salts of sulfonic acids are soluble in water, hence B will be more effective to clean. Okay, so that is the hard water concept. The second, so this carries how much mark? So this carries 1 mark. Okay, so half mark for writing yes or no, like which one you will use, A or B, and half mark is for explanation. So this carries 1 mark. Now second one is what? You have to elaborate on the process and you have to draw the diagram of Michel. So I think 1 mark here, and this one will be here, this is 2 mark, and this one will also be 2 mark. Okay, so for illustration 1 mark and for diagram it will be 2 mark, I think. Okay, let us see here now. So soaps are molecules in which the 2 ends have differing properties, right? You know, one is having hydrophobic part and another is having hydrophilic part that dissolves in water, while the other end is hydrophobic, which dissolves in hydrocarbon. Now the molecules of the soap are sodium or potassium salts of long chain carboxylic acid. Now what happens, the ionic end of the soap dissolves in water while the carbon chain dissolves in oil. You do not have to mention this point, okay, this is not required. The soap molecules thus form structures called as micelles, where one end of the molecule is towards the oil droplet while the other ionic end faces outside. This forms an emulsion in the water. The soap micelle thus helps in dissolving the dirt in water and can be washed out. Okay, so cleansing action you have to explain, and then this structure. Okay, so this one will be like, this is 1 mark and this is 3 mark. Okay, 3, 4. And next one, the reaction, if you write the ester reaction with NaOH, you will be getting 1 sodium, salt and alcohol, and the name of this reaction is saponification. So half of that is 1 mark. Okay, so marking distribution here is like this. This is the 5 marker question. Now moving towards the 4 marker question. Let us see the next question now. So this is your 4 marker case based question. Derive the names of A, Y, Z, M, P and R. Attempt either subpart B or C. Okay. So first of all, let us see, A is there, and if you do electrolysis of that, you are getting caustic soda, and at anode some gas is produced and at cathode some gas is produced. So if you know NaCl, okay, NaCl, if you electrolyze, you will get NaOH at X, at anode you will get Cl2 gas, and at cathode you will get H2 gas, right? So what is your A? 1 second. Yeah, so A is your sodium chloride, Y, the one which is produced at anode, will be chlorine gas, and Z will be hydrogen gas. Okay, so we discussed A, Y, Z. Next, coming to this one, A something is molten, that means NaCl, and when you electrolyze and you take chlorine, you have NaCl here, okay, molten NaCl. On electrolysis, again at anode Cl2 gas will produce, and at cathode sodium metal will be produced. So M is what? M will be your sodium metal, right? M is sodium metal. Next, if you see P and R, so again we have M here. M is what? Sodium, Na plus CH3COOH. So that will give you CH3CONA plus H2 gas, right? So P is what? CH3COO Na, or sodium ethanoate. Next, if we have here R, where we have R, okay. So if you see and we have any information about Q, 1 second, XYZ MYPZ CH3COH with concentrated Q, we get R, but R, okay, so this one is NaOH, okay, plus Q we have to find out, okay. B I have not given with Q as well, right? Okay, let us see. P we have to find out, Q we have to find out, R also we have to find out, okay. So most probably, if you see, let us see the here, okay. So now what happens, see, if this one is something giving you with concentrated H2SO4, NaOH is there, okay, then X was NaOH, right? X was NaOH, and this one you can guess as a saponification reaction, so R must be an ester group, right? So R has to be an ester group, and ester is produced by the reaction of one acid and an ethanol group. So Q must be your ethanol, means C2H5OH, okay. So that will give you here CH3COO C2H5, okay. So now when you do when you take this one and do saponification reaction, you will get back the alcohol and the acid. So that is why that is your ester group, okay. Next, you have to attempt any one of from B and C. So attempt there either subpart or subpart B or C. Improvise an activity to test Z. So what was Z here? Z is your H2 gas, right? So we know if we bring a burning matchstick, it burns with a pop sound. Next, name the process in which the compound X, Y and Z are formed from A. That is your chloralkali process, and justify your response, okay. So you can write here any activity similar to the given figure. So that is your this activity where you have to bring a burning matchstick near the hydrogen gas, then it burns with a pop sound. The second one, the process is called as chloralkali process, and why it is called? Because in this process the products formed are chlorine and alkali for sodium hydroxide, okay. So the word chlor is taken from chlorine and the word alkali is taken from the sodium hydroxide which is produced, okay. Fine. Next, there is a question from visually impaired students. Distinguish between ethanol and ethanoic acid experimentally. Attempt again subpart B or C. Give the IUPAC name of the first member of the alkene which is formed by the addition of concentrated sulfuric acid to it. Illustrate the change with the help of a chemical equation, okay. All combustion reactions are oxidation, but all oxidation reactions are not combustion. Justify, okay. So first let us distinguish between ethanol and ethanoic acid. So ethanoic acid reacts with carbonates and hydrogen carbonates, okay, to give you what? Salt, carbon dioxide and water, right? This is an acid, so it will react with carbonates and bicarbonates to give you salt, CO2 and water, right? And this process is commonly called as, the salt produced is called as sodium acetate. But in case of ethanol, there is no reaction with carbonates and bicarbonates. The second one is the first member of ethene, that is your C2H5, and if you drew concentrated ethanol, if you take and heat with hot concentrated sulfuric acid, you will get back ethene here, right? And next was what? All combustion reactions. So in all combustion reactions, oxygen is added, hence all combustion reactions are oxidation, whereas in oxidation reaction what happens? Energy may or may not be released during the product, and hence that is why all oxidation are not combustion reactions. Okay, so combustion reactions are those reactions where energy is released out, right? But every oxidation reaction doesn't comes with a release of energy, so that is why these are not combustion reactions. Okay, so all oxidation reactions are not combustion reactions. Okay, so that's all. Okay. So that's all students in this class, and I hope you have liked the solutions. If you have any doubt in any question, so please comment down, we will definitely address it. Okay, so please solve the papers and do writing practice of the answers because your exams are very near. Okay.